I've been told I have lore. I feel like I can't say that about myself. We're gonna get into it. Hi you guys. So first and foremost, welcome to my YouTube. I really have to get used to not looking at the top fucking screen where I can see myself, so this is all new to me. I thought I would do a little get to know me video for anyone new or anyone who's been following me for a little bit but they don't know that much about me. We're gonna get into like the niche get to know me facts and like some like lore, if you will. I've been told I have lore. I feel like I can't say that about myself. We're gonna get into it. First things first, hi. My name is Chody, middle name is Elizabeth. I am 24 years old and I live in Los Angeles, California. I grew up in Lake Forest, Illinois, which is a suburb on the North Shore of Chicago, and I'm the youngest of 3 sisters. You're probably knowing my sisters, Hannah and Elle. Hannah is 8 years older than I am and Elle is 5 years older. So growing up, like I had them, but I also was like kind of the only child in a way because I was so much younger and because from 8th grade on, I was the only daughter at home. So I get the youngest treatment, which is like the best, and then also like an only child treatment, which also rocks. People always ask me who I am more similar to, Hannah or Elle. It's kind of an annoying answer, but I swear to God, I'm a mix of both of them, features wise, personality wise, and I guess that's it. Going into like the first tier of what people are like, what the fuck about me. So I grew up a theater kid. I was a singer, dancer, actress. I played guitar and piano. I didn't really love sports growing up. My sisters were both swimmers. I swam a little, but like I just never was that into it. And I had a good voice. I liked dancing and I was good at piano. So like I went that route. So much so I went to theater camp in middle school. I went to Stage Door Manor, which is in upstate New York, for 2 summers, going into 8th grade and going into freshman year of high school. If you don't know Stage Door, so many iconic celebrity theater kids have gone there, like Ben Platt, Ansel Elgort, but like he's canceled, so. Oh, Chris Olsen went there. Actually, when I was there too, he definitely probably would not remember me, but I remember him. I also, to no one's surprise, was a runner in middle school and high school, so I started cross country in 7th grade. I wasn't good in 7th and 8th grade. I wasn't bad, like I wasn't the slowest girl on the team, but like I was not good. It was kind of just like, okay, like for fun. Freshman year of high school, I ended up taking it a bit more seriously and I ended up being on varsity because like I said, I wasn't bad, but I wasn't like the best. I ended up like getting really good like throughout that season, and my state race, I like had like this like breakout race and I went like so fucking fast and everyone was really confused. And then from that point on, I was like in contention as like the best runner on our team for like my sophomore year. And then by like junior and senior year, like I was like pretty much like our #1 runner, and I was really fast. And I did track too. I set the school record in the 2 mile in track my sophomore year. I ran it in 10 minutes and 43 seconds and it's still standing, so period. All that to say, I stopped theater and went full-blown running in high school. I committed to college for running, so I committed to USC. I can do a full separate video about my running stuff where I kind of get into like more of the details, but that's that. Backtracking a little bit, I went to a boarding school in Switzerland in 8th grade. It was called the Winter Term, and it's a tiny school. There were only 44 of us, and it's in the Bernese Oberland, in this like tiny village. So it was school half the day and then skiing half the day, and we traveled around Switzerland on the weekends, and honestly it was just like an incredible experience, and I met some of my greatest friends in life there. I'm very grateful for that experience. It was very formative. It was 11 years ago and I still fucking talk about it. I committed to USC for college for running. I decided on USC over Duke and Northwestern, the other schools I was considering, because I knew I would be very happy at USC if I were to quit running, which I figured I was probably going to do because very few people make it all 4 years in a college sport, especially D1 at a place like USC. I'm trying to make this like fun facts and not like going into depth about things, so I'm gonna save like a bunch of stuff about college for a different video. I'll do a full video about USC. I love skiing. I love to travel. Europe, especially Asia. I've been to like Thailand, Hong Kong, Japan. I've been to a lot of incredible places and I'm very grateful for that. I love to shop. I love Taylor Swift. I went to the Eras Tour a handful of times. Moving on to life now, I currently live in Los Angeles with 3 of my best friends from USC, Jake, Julia, and Peyton. We all met freshman year of college. have stayed very close friends throughout. I have a boyfriend. His name is Max. We met in February 2023 on Hinge, but he did go to USC. He was a grade above me, but he was in a fraternity that I just didn't hang out with as much. So we had so many mutual friends, but we didn't know one another, which honestly, like, obviously made it very easy to kind of get to know one another. And I'm a huge proponent of Hinge because it helps you make those connections with people that you could perhaps meet out in the wild, but you happen to meet on an app. We've been dating for, like I said, almost 2 years. He is from Minnesota originally, so we're both Midwesterners. Something great about Max that I hadn't experienced in any of my previous relationships was just like how much he balances me out and is so supportive and so understanding and kind, while also always wanting me to become a better person and challenging me to look at situations differently, just approach life from a bit of a different point of view. We have similar backgrounds in the sense that we both went to USC, but other than that, we have very different upbringings, things that have happened in our lives. So I just am so grateful that I met him and that I have him. In college, I majored in journalism and entrepreneurship, and I actually wanted to be a broadcast journalist, but that clearly didn't happen. Post-grad, I worked for a restaurant startup here in LA for like 8 months, but then I thought I wanted to go back to school and get a master's. So I ended up leaving that job and I was gonna start working on my master's applications, but my parents were like, you can't not work. So I started working as a social media content creator. Wait, what was my first role? I started working as a social media producer for my family company, which is called Garrett Popcorn. I ended up not wanting to go to grad school anymore, and so I still work for Garrett. I run our social media. I do it completely remotely from LA, but I do have to travel home for work every once in a while for meetings, content purposes, etc. My next business trip home, I am going to vlog, so you can look forward to that. And then I also obviously have my Instagram and TikTok, Brett's Bites, that I do content, I work with brands that I love, etc. I started Brett's Bites actually in 2017 and then kind of only shared like smoothies and stuff for like a year, and then it kind of was dormant, and then I revamped it in COVID and it just kind of became about my entire life, and I've been posting consistently for 5 years now. I'm just really proud of the community I am building, and connecting with all of you guys literally makes my day. So that's like a little background on like my socials. Circling back to running, like I said, I retired in college and I actually hated running, like all of college. I hardly ran. I would run in like berries and that was it. But post-grad, like many others, I was kind of going through like a crisis. So I started going to Venice Run Club in LA, August of 2022. It kind of just like reignited my spark. And I ran my first half marathon ever, November of 2022. And then soon after, I was convinced by the founder of VRC to run the LA Marathon in March of 2023. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. I did not think that I would do a marathon at the ripe age of 22. I just went balls to the wall in training and I had so much fun with it. And I ended up running my first marathon in 3 hours, 7 minutes, and 5 seconds or something. So much faster than I anticipated going. That is still my PR, fun fact. But I've since run 2 more marathons. I ran Boston last April and then New York this past November. I can do a separate video about like all my marathons and the breakdown of each. And I'm running Chicago in October of 2025. That will be my 4th marathon, my 3rd world major, and I'm super excited. My skin used to be awful, so I went on Accutane in 2022 and it saved my skin. It looks so much better now. Also, I'm always asked like where my name came from. I was named after Lady Brett Ashley, which is from the Ernest Hemingway book, The Sun Also Rises, which I think is like such a cool origin of a name. I think that that's it. I'm new to this thing, so comment below any videos you want to see. I'm very receptive to feedback, and make sure you're following me on Instagram and TikTok at Brett's Bites, and subscribe to my channel. I have a lot of fun stuff coming up, fun vlogs, and I can't wait to really grow this community. Love you guys so much. Mwah.